We talk about Nintendo almost every freaking week, just because
It's a completely unnecessary Nintendo podcast.
Well, first because Nintendo gets the most shit out of every video game company, and we won't go into why right now. We actually had a topic about that actually, why they get shit on. But Nintendo's the 3DS has always done well the past couple of years. Obviously had a shaky first year, and the Wii U had a very shaky first year and a half. It's been out for a year and a half at this point, and people were ready to write it off. And I always said, let's hold on a second. Wait until the console gets to release its second year. Fully second year done. Because even the NES first year didn't do that well in 86. No one had it really. No one really started buying it until 87. There was only like 10 third-party games in 86.
Right.
It's almost a parallel. There's almost no third-party games almost for the Wii U. But the point is, let's see. They have a lot of bullets in the chamber. Nintendo still. They still didn't. They still didn't have the Smash Brothers release. They still didn't have the Mario Kart release. They
hadn't even announced.
They didn't have their Zelda release. The only Zelda they had the demo from Zelda back in 2011. That's the only thing they had for that. They didn't have a Star Fox. They had lots of bullets in the chamber. No Pokemon game yet for Wii U. There's a lot of stuff they have there. So they had to show this year. They had to show up and say, this is going to be a system that we're not just going to just shove to the side and have worse performance than the GameCube and have like worse sales. They had to show off they had to get people excited. And I think they managed to do that by not just the staples, but they have a few new IPs that look very, very interesting.
I think the two new IPs look great, and it's one of the IPs, Splatoon, looks, utterly fantastic to me. That is the type of game, and I just realized, when I was looking over it earlier, again, watching the trailer, I'm like, unfortunately, the way this game is made, the modes that we saw, those are going to have to be mostly online multiplayer modes because of the reliance on the Wii gamepad.
Maybe. But now you can use the regular controller.
Well, you can, but the map is important for tracking where the paint is.
For a multiplayer, but probably, yeah. Or a single player.
But they've already said that. They've already said in an interview that they do have a very specific vision for a single player game. Good. And a very specific vision for a local multiplayer game. So one-on-one. So that's very cool. And the codename Steam for the 3DS, which is another new IP.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
Really interesting aesthetic, and I like the idea of making a turn-based strategy game. I think they said with like a little bit of action, that's going to broaden that genre to a lot of people. All I could think of, and it's not a game I don't think you've played, but it made me think a little bit of a game called Valkyria Chronicles for the PS3, which totally turns the strategy genre on its head. So that's really cool. As a matter of fact, I gotta tell you, and this might come as a surprise to some people, because from reading the comments, I gather that people sometimes think I'm anti Wii U. I'm just being realist about it. I bought one. After E3.
Recently? Okay.
No, after E3.
Now, which package did you buy?
So here's the funny thing, because I'm gonna need some words. I'm gonna need some words here. I bought the Mario Kart 8 bundle.
Okay.
Now, what happened was I looked at their conference and I saw Splatoon and I instantly fell in love. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Just from that one game.
Just from that one game. And then I saw the Zelda, and I'm not the biggest Zelda guy, but I'm like, this could be very interesting. Toad's Treasure Tracker looked very good to me.
We're going to talk about
we'll get to those. So a lot of these looked interesting to me. But then I'm looking around, and for whatever reason, and I haven't been a Mario Kart fan in years, I start looking, and I'm like, I'm dipping into the Mario Kart 8 reviews and looking at videos. I'm like, this looks good. So where I think I'm eating words is, I think I said it on this podcast, a few months back, but if I didn't, I certainly thought it for real in my head. I had stopped thinking of Mario Kart as a potential system seller.
Really?
Because the Wii U one, I know it sold very well.
I mean the Wii one.
The Wii one. It sold very well.
Sold well, but
it sits on shelves longer at the store, and honestly, when you talk to people, that's where a lot of people are like, I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. People love or hate the DS one. More love than hate.
I like the DS one.
Yeah, the DS one I think is fun, but the online was kind of broken with the snaking and stuff.
Yeah, the snaking, people have cheats on it last time I played,
But I did enjoy that one,
I'm good at the DS one.
In local. And then, a lot of people were 50-50 on the Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS. So I'd seen it as a franchise that was declining. Mm-hmm. But I just got really interested in it, and it's Vonnie's game. And when Vonnie and I got together and first started dating, we played a lot of fighters. But since then, we haven't had a lot of games that we've played, and we were like, you know what? I'm like, F it. I'm like, I'm going out of town for this nonsense. Here's exactly one half of a Wii U Mario Kart 8 bundle. Said, if you find it and you want to get the other half, I said, let's do it. And she said, yeah. And we got it, and holy crap. We played 6 circuits last night. She beat me 5 of the 6 circuits.
Oh, there's 6 circuits in the game?
No, there's 8.
There's 8? Oh, wow.
Well, 4 new cups, 4 new
Okay.
track cups, and 4 retro track cups.
Okay.
And, I mean, it's just an utter blast. It's so, I mean, everything that they did wrong in 7, they flipped. So anyways, getting off track a little bit, Nintendo is doing a good job with what they are currently pushing in terms of Mario Kart 8 and with what I think is coming out. You know, you look online and people tend to flock together like minds, but so many people that I see on Twitter now just bought Wii U's.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's going to be the massive comeback everyone hopes for,
Oh, no.
but it's going to push it into respectable territory.
Yeah, it'll push it into GameCube territory at least.
Yeah.
But we'll see if it goes above, somewhere between GameCube and Wii. It's not going to hit the Wii numbers, but maybe in between GameCube and Wii, you know?
Sure.
You know, so just out of curiosity, what controller was the second player? Were you using a Wiimote or a game? Or you can't use GameCube yet. That's not out yet. What were you using?
We were using. I was playing with the gamepad, and then Vani just had a Wiimote with a
Wiimote?
classic controller plugged in.
Oh, that worked fine.
Yeah, and we have multiple classic controllers, and I'll probably grab a pro controller. And despite what some people have said online, I didn't find playing with the gamepad too awkward or anything. So
It's lighter than you think. It's more comfortable than you think.
that's one of the nice things. See, like Vani bought into a lot of Wii stuff when it was popular, and it was nice of Nintendo to not make it all useless. It was like, we need controllers, and she's like, well, we've got this whole bag of controllers right here
No.
that we can totally use.
That's great. And like I said, the GameCube adapter's coming out. So going back to what they're introducing, let's talk about the Zelda game. Just from that little minute and a half sort of teaser.
I got chills, and I'm not a Zelda fan. I mean,
Yeah.
I've said that so many times, dude. I'm not, I looked at that and I was like, I want to fucking play this game.
It's impressive. And that was Game Engine too. That wasn't CG rendered, Mass Effect garbage. That's the game.
Yep.
It looked nice. It looked like, okay. It's almost one of those ideas that, not that, well, you probably could have thought of it, but open world Zelda game. That's like, wow, that's a cool idea.
Well, a lot of people made jokes, like the first one. Well, yes, pretty much every Zelda has been fairly open to explore. But if what they mean, and I'm almost certain it is the Western RPG idea of open world, like Zelda, but in a Skyrim type framework, that's going to be insane.
And the first Zelda really is, I mean, yeah, it's open world, but you have to do specific things in a kind of specific order. It's not like you can just go off and create your own mini games. You really can't. Oh, kill the most Octoroks in a minute. No, that's not built into the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I never thought of a Zelda game like that, but really, if you put Zelda in that framework, I think it's just going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I think that if people weren't going to buy because of the Mario Kart, like they weren't Mario Kart fans, if you're a Zelda fan, you'll buy the system just for that game. It's a killer. It's going to be a killer app.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 seems to be shifting plenty of units, and whatever units Mario Kart 8 doesn't shift, Smash will shift or Zelda will shift, and that will get you back into, like you said, above GameCube territory.
Well, the problem is Zelda's not going to come out until at least a year and a half.
Yeah,
Till fall next year.
I still think this. Well, now that people are more excited about the Wii U, the split between the 3DS and the Wii U Smash Brothers doesn't bother me as much as it has in previous discussions of the topic. I think now what we are looking at is a lot of people who are more or less convinced that they might want a Wii U, and they're probably going to buy both.
Yeah, let's talk about the Smash Brothers tournament. I watched a little bit of it live, and that's, I mean, we spoke about this a couple months ago when they announced it. What a great idea. I mean, simple, but Nintendo, great idea, great for the fans, and great showing off your new console. I mean, they even forced the players to all choose different characters so that you can show off all the new characters.
And way to bring in the people that Nintendo was kind of alienating previously. That we had talked about, the people who play more competitively. Like, they wanted everyone to be. Yeah. They wanted to show you kind of every angle of this game.
And the finals, at least the competitive finals, were 1-on-1 without items. But hey, guess what? All the other rounds had items. And the crowd had a fucking blast.
Sure.
It wasn't like, oh my god, they got a Pokemon ball. No, it was fun. The crowd was going nuts when they got something cool and unleashed it. The only thing they didn't really like was, like the final attack, whatever the hell it's called. They didn't like when that was getting overused. But whatever. It's like, if you get that or you get the heart and get your life back, it's almost the same thing. Except you're destroying everyone else.
Right.
You know. But no, look, that's going to be a system mover. Like we said. Now, what's interesting is that they did not announce during their E3 video, their digital direct, Nintendo Direct video. They did not even mention Star Fox at all. They didn't during E3. They say, by the way, we're coming out with the Star Fox game, which is really a strange approach. I guess they don't want to blow their entire wad during their presentation.
Or maybe they had nothing to show and they just wanted to keep hitting people with, we're doing this and here's what it is. You know,
maybe, but it looks like it's at least developed. I mean, people were, I think, sampling it, weren't they?
I don't believe so. From what I understood, it was an announcement and nothing more.
All right. How about the direct video with the sort of robot chicken style? You see that? It was pretty funny.
No, I was working. I watched the Nintendo I mean, I did go back and watch trailers of things, but I watched the Nintendo conference through my Twitter feed. Basically, I just people would update and say this looks cool, this and that, and then when I had time, like on lunch break, I checked out some trailers.
They basically poked fun at themselves and the fans during basically Robot Chicken. They had like all the characters hanging out like in a like a break room talking about each other. They took a shot at Earthbound fans, saying like, oh, Earthbound, when's Earthbound 3 going to be localized? Like they actually did that. It's funny as hell. It shows they have a sense of humor. They hired Mega64 to do their announcement video for the Smash Brothers tournament, and they actually, they went and filmed Reggie Fils-Aimé and had fun with it. So like they have a sense of humor, Nintendo. That's why you have to love them at least for that. Because Sony and Microsoft aren't doing anything like that. They don't poke fun at themselves.
At this point, they are the humorous, scrappy underdogs.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's funny to say because financially they're in great shape.
Right, right,
but they look like the underdog.
Right.
They have the biggest franchises combined. Not saying individually, but when you combine them all together, they're the most valuable probably.
How about my boy Pac-Man?
Yeah.
How about my boy Pac-Man getting announced for Smash?
From what company, Ian?
Namco.
Okay.
The greatest maker of video games in the world.
That was sort of not a weird one. It was just sort of unexpected. It would have crossed your mind. Yeah, they got Sonic in, but Pac-Man, why not? The granddaddy.
Well, Namco Bandai is helping them make the game.
So I guess it makes sense.
So yeah, that makes sense.
So you saw the trailer for that, the teaser?
Yeah, that was...
You get chills?
That was... Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
The fruit attack, the ghost attacks and everything?
I lost my shit when I saw the Mappy sprite in his hand.
You really?
Yeah, there's also like a Galaga sprite, but the Mappy sprite, I was like, this is...
You saw my tweet, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did see that. But I just had a joy explosion inside, and it was so great.
Make sure you have a towel for that.
Inside. Inside. It was not external.
But also they're gonna have Mega Man in it. So like that's this is gonna be I mean they had solid Snake in the last one. Ooh,
yeah.
Bullshit, who cares? This is now they have all the major icons. They have Donkey Kong, they have Link, they have Mario, they have Pac-Man, they have Sonic. It's like and Mega Man. It's like the dream team. The only thing they're missing is probably like Simon Belmont is the only one missing. Seriously. Cool. He'll probably be the next one. So Nintendo's doing a great job with this. Not the stupid Sony All-Stars. Who gives a shit about that game? No one does.
Right.
This is the main event.
Nintendo has built up the mascots that they use in these games over decades. Sony had built up the mascots they use in that game over a decade or maybe
over a year. There was people in the game and I'm like, who is this person?
Right. I mean, and I mean, Smash is a fun game, but I mean, half of the fun for me is just picking these characters and watching them be completely uncharacteristic and beat the crap out of each other.
Happy Pac-Man just beating people.
Now we're just
waiting for Bonk to make an appearance. Come on, Konami owns it. If they get Bonk and Simon Belmont, and we're good. Had the Toad game they announced. That looks like a cute little game. Yeah, I don't think that. Yeah, I'm excited. I will buy a Wii U this year. It's just a matter of when I'm going to get one. When am I going to have time to actually buy one and play one, and maybe I'll.
There's really good bundles out right now. You can for $2.99 you can get the bundle that has Wind Waker HD, which was actually what I chose as my free game. Oddly, with the Mario Kart 8 part, because you got a free game.
Oh, so you can get for $300 you get the Mario Kart 8 with.
This is what they have. They have. Not to advertise.
Yeah, it's advertised for Nintendo.
But whatever. They have for $300 you can get the one with New Super Mario Bros. U and New Luigi U. Or you can get the one with the Wind Waker download, or you can get the one with a physical copy of Mario Kart 8. And when you register it, if you do it by the end of July, you get either Pikmin 3, Wind Waker HD, Mario U, or Wii Party U for free.
Huh, that's not bad.
No.
I forgot about the Wii Party U game too. Yeah.
So we went with Zelda just because I kind of want to give Wind Waker another shot. So yeah, no, I mean it was an interesting E3. The Nintendo conference honestly excited me the most, but I really don't think anyone had a terrible showing, and that's pretty much that.
Who won? We all won.
We all won.